Welcome back to Hardball. The Trump administration has made a concerted and committed effort to defend, believe it or not, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia after ruthlessly ordered, the murder of Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi. In the past 48 hours, the president, his son-in-law, and the Secretary of State have all dismissed the CIA assessment that there was a high probability that MBS, that's the Crown Prince, ordered the killing. In an interview with Reuters, Trump defended his position, saying he's the leader of Saudi Arabia. They've been a very good ally. When an uncharacteristically tough grilling from Fox News, however, Mike Pompeo knocked down the notion that more should be done. Let's watch.
The direct evidence isn't yet available. It may show up tomorrow. It may have shown up overnight, and I haven't seen it. But
someone
President
has to pay the price, though. It's so brutal. Apparently, those audio tapes are awful.
The Saudis have already paid the price. There are the folks who actually committed the murder we've held accountable.
Well, according to the Washington Post, the administration's inability to listen to the CIA has frustrated officials. Intelligence officials tell the Post that there is a disconnect between the spy agencies and the president that is without precedent, leaving an arrangement they call dysfunctional, much like Trump refusing to release his taxes because of the audits he says are going. It's unclear if Trump will ever accept the intelligence about MBS. I'm joined right now by Democratic Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii. It is like every time you ask Trump about his tax returns, he says they're under audit. Or he says, like he used to do with Obama and his birth records from Hawaii. Oh, I'm checking on those. It's nonsense. It's BS. Nobody believes they're doing anything but just delay. Why are they doing this?
The biggest BS that I see in this whole thing is this statement that you hear from President Trump. You hear it from Mike Pompeo. You hear it from different people within this administration that Saudi Arabia is a good ally or is our best ally or our best friend within the region. The issue here with the murdering of this journalist in Turkey shines a light on the larger question that I think needs to be asked and answered here in Washington, which is show the evidence of how Saudi Arabia is our ally, because I can tell you there is a long list of reasons pointing to all of the reasons why they are not our allies, why they are acting directly in ways that are counterproductive to the interests of the American people and to our own national security interests.
So why is the president's son-in-law in charge of all this? Because he thinks he's got a buddy in MBS, the killer over there. They've sweet-talked him. He's been seduced by them. He thinks he's going to get a pro-Israeli deal. Not just a deal in the Middle East, but a deal that Netanyahu's going to like, the hardest of the Likudniks, that he's going to like it. How can there be such a deal?
When you look at the things that this administration is doing, they are things that are moving us farther and farther away from the possibility of striking a peace deal between the Israelis and the Palestinians. Again, we've got to look at what's driving this. And if you look at Trump, and he's made it very clear, it's money. And it's his so-called deal with the Saudis for this $110 billion of weapons that he's selling to them without regard for how they're using those weapons and slaughtering people in Yemen. There are so many issues here that really.
You don't think we should have to deal with the fact that the Saudi royal family is there to stay? There's nothing we can do about it.
That's not the point. I'm not saying that we've got to get rid of the Saudi state or the government or whatever. That is not my point at all. I don't believe that we should be in the regime change business, whether it be in Saudi Arabia, in Iran, or North Korea, or Syria, or anywhere else.
Let's take a look at this. Meanwhile, according to Outgoing, you and Ambassador Nikki Haley talked to my colleague Craig Melvin about how she would use President Trump's unpredictable behavior to her advantage at the UN. Let's watch this strange story.
Is it true that you use the president's unpredictable rhetoric to our advantage diplomatically?
If I needed to pick up the phone and say, this is what I'm going to do, are you good with this? Or this, we kind of partnered in that. And so he would ratchet up the rhetoric, and then I'd go back to the ambassadors and say, he's pretty upset. I can't promise you what he's going to do or not, but I can tell you if we do these sanctions, it will keep him from going too far.
This is sort of like the Nixon mad bomber thing. Make him think. And she's saying that's what she'd do to our people negotiating with us. Oh, be careful. This guy's a little rocky here.
And yet what she's doing is further ratcheting up tensions with other nuclear powers in the world, further beating those hawkish neocon war drums. So whatever she's trying to make it sound like she's the good cop in the room.
I like this. Anyway, let me ask you about your cause, because right now Trump ran by saying he was going to get rid of stupid wars and help the troops. Where'd you put him on that? Where's he doing on that?
Moving us in the wrong direction. Not only have we not ended any of these stupid wars, we are continuing to have our troops deployed in places like Afghanistan and Syria and other places, all while this administration is laying the groundwork for a regime change war against Iran. What to speak of the veterans here at home? I spoke with a veteran recently who used to work in the VA and who now works just helping veterans in his community, who said, and he was a Republican, and he said never before has he seen veterans worse off with this VA than he has with this VA. And that's because veterans are being treated like a number. Yeah. And so in order to report out good statistics, their cases are being closed prematurely. We're seeing cases and appointments being deleted completely because they were waiting too long. And this GI Bill issue, where veterans are trying to go to school, they've been promised these benefits, and the VA is saying, well, actually, you know, we'll pay you in a year and a half. Meanwhile, they've got to pay their rent, they've got to pay their tuition and take care of their families.
And our dad went to school on the GI Bill.
Yeah, so did I.
That's why we're middle class. Anyway, 2020, the Baskin-Robbins campaign. There's every kind of flavor running. Somebody from Hawaii was recently elected president, Barack Obama. Mm-hmm. Yourself, are you running?
I'm seriously considering.
What would stop you?
I'm concerned about the direction of our country.
No, what would stop you from running?
I don't know. I'm thinking through
Sounds
very
like you're
carefully.
heading toward it.
I'm thinking
That's
through
an
it
old
very
Tim
carefully.
Russert question, by the way. What would stop you? You have to come up with that answer. It's good to have you. A lot of people are seeing you for the first time. U.S. Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard may run for president in a very wide, interesting field.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.